Yeah.
You can't, the Brian's turned up as far as it can. It's just a manufacturer thing.
It is what it is. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your state court judge. This is the ticket calendar call. What I want to do is say, again, don't let the fact that we're starting at 9, well, after 9:15 concern you. We started late because there was a lot of activity in the courthouse, and we wanted to give everybody a chance to frankly go to the wrong courtroom and then redirect to the right courtroom. Don't let that worry you. We're very good at moving cases forward at an appropriate speed, and we'll get all of you back to your lives at as quickly as we can. All right, I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you deserve the respect and dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. All right, hey, don't talk during court. Our goal is to get you all back to your lives as quick as we can. I will have no patience with any disruptions. Plus, it keeps me from getting you all back to your lives as quick as we can. All right, I have one virtual person named Jackson Gale. Ms. Jackson, wait till your name is called. Go get a pen and a piece of paper. Don't wait till I give you information and then tell me that I need to wait for you to get a pen and a piece of paper, considering I just told you to go get it. That happens every time. All right, cell phones. Everybody, right now, reach into those pockets and purses, wherever you've stashed that cell phone, pull it out, absolutely make certain it is off. What's going to happen is a bunch of you are sitting here thinking, I already turned mine off, I don't need to worry about that, which means you've ignored my instructions to check it, which means your phone's going to ring, which means you're the one I got to have the contempt hearing on. Don't volunteer for that contempt hearing. Just do what I'm asking you to do and turn your phones off. Also, it's disrespectful to the other people in the courtroom as we try to get everybody back to their lives as quick as we can. All right, this is important because there's a lot going on in this courthouse today. This is the correct courtroom for you if you were issued a citation here in Spalding County, you appeared or waived your arraignment date and requested a trial. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, you may step out into the hallway. There's a bailiff out there. Show them your paperwork, and they'll get you to the right courtroom. Today is what's called your calendar call. That's where I go over your rights with you, and I tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorney tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial, where 6 jurors issue a verdict on your case from that box over there. And then there's a bench trial, where I issue the verdict without a jury. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office if you wish, or your attorney can certainly do so on your behalf. And then you can ask me about an attorney, and we can have that conversation. Your charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. All right, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. That's where I decide guilt or innocence without a jury. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you so choose. Now, I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you have the right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You still have the right to have an attorney. So if you cannot afford an attorney, though, you should have applied on your arraignment date with the Public Defender's Office like I asked you to. I specifically warned you at your arraignment day that if you wanted the Public Defender Services that you needed to apply ASAP. I even gave you the directions very likely and told you to walk the block and a half from here to there to fill out your application. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what the charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. I'm responsible for explaining these to you, and how they work is they each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. However, you only get one of each for your entire life. Felonies and misdemeanors, one of each. First offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, no DUIs. and conditional discharges are drug-related charges only. I misspoke just a second ago. One of each means it doesn't matter whether you use it Superior Court, misdemeanor court, felonies, misdemeanor, doesn't matter. You get one conditional discharge and one first offender. Just wanted to clarify that. All right, no-low contender traffic charges. This applies to almost all of you here. A no-low plea, which is what we call it for short, is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt. And it's available on most traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one no-low every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. No-low will usually prevent points and a license suspension. A no-low will not help you much if you're under 21. All right, habeas corpus. It is my job to explain this weird old law called habeas corpus. It does all kinds of things. But for our purposes here, here's what you need to know. If you're convicted of these charges, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. All traffic charges, which most of you have a 6-month window to use those habeas rights. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window to use your habeas rights before they expire. All right, if you're here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. You may conference today with the solicitor's office, and if that's what you choose to do when your name is called, announce conference very loudly. You will remain here in the courtroom until your name is called to meet with them. The solicitor's office, that's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement with them, you can resolve your case today, and this is really important. If you do not reach an agreement today, you must return to this courtroom to receive your next set of instructions that I will personally give you. All right, and for the attorneys here, I don't necessarily need to see y'all again if you're going to request a trial. You just need to make certain to get a verdict form signed before you leave. All right, now, closing your payable tickets without a trial. Now, if you wish to close your payable ticket without a trial, then you need to ask for a conference and speak with the solicitor's office. They will walk you through these key options. First, if you have the fine amount and you want to pay it, you can certainly do that and close your case today. On the other end, if you don't have the fine amount, then you can enter a plea or you very likely be placed on probation, and that probation will terminate upon completion. So 2 sides of the coin. There's a third option in the middle. The middle option is what we now call our 15 by 20 program, which means you don't want to be placed on probation, but you don't have the fine amount in full to pay it. And so we adopted this from the Griffin Municipal Court, and it has been very successful. So what is this program? The 15 by 20 program is for the defendants who don't have the fine amount, but don't want to go on probation. So the way it works is you enter your plea today, just like normal, and you receive a probated sentence. But that sentence is delayed for 15 days to allow you to pay your fine in full. You will additionally pay a $20 program fee to offset the cost of the program. And if you pay your fine in full, plus $20 within the next 15 days, your case closes without probation being initiated. That's the 15 by 20 program. If you're unsuccessful, your probation automatically begins after the 15th day. So if you're interested in that, ask for a conference, talk to the solicitor's office, see if they're willing to recommend it. All right. If you do receive probation, then you need to know that 100% of all fines while on probation may be worked off with community service work at $10 per hour. Additionally, there is a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete your probation. This supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, our procedure for your 2 weeks of trial calendars are as follows. All the jury trials and bench trials are together on this 2-week trial calendar. This is your calendar call, and this is week 1. And then you're actually going to skip 2 weeks. We're going to do some other court in the middle, and then we're going to come back to you all on June 12th, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, June 12th. So we'll come back to you all the week of June 12th to try your cases, jury trials and bench trials. You'll appear each day as directed until your case is resolved. Georgia law does not allow for virtual appearance at trial, so everybody must appear in person on June 12th. We will run 2 courtrooms on June 12th, and we will reach your case for trial. Okay, we're still a smaller community, and everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. So here's the deal. If you recognize the name who's missing and who I'm issuing a warrant for this morning, call them and tell them to get down here ASAP. You'll very likely save them maybe a trip to the jail, but definitely a lot of future trouble. So if you know anybody who's missing, call them. All right, so lastly, you must let me know if there are any pretrial motions, speedy trial demands, or anything else I need to factor into the trial of your case other than picking a jury. Failure to get this information to me will result in waiver. Bench warrants results in waiver. And all pretrial matters must be heard at the first scheduled calendar or they are waived unless I specifically preserve them on the record in open court. All right, so this slide has had many different titles, but I just went with "this is important" because that seemed to me to be the most accurate title that it needs. Hey, this is important. If you tell me today that you want a jury trial or bench trial, what you're telling me is you do not want a conference, you do not want an attorney, you do not want a continuance, you do not want a negotiated plea, you do not have any motions that need to be heard, because this is your last chance to explore those options. I have zero intentions of exploring these options when the jury is standing outside that door ready to try your case. If you want those, we need to talk about them today. All right, when I call the calendar, here's what I'm looking for from you. When you hear your name called, stand up. That way you can see who's here quickly. If you're represented by an attorney, remain silent and let them announce for you. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to answer very loudly, much more loudly than you think you need to, with this. So you'll yell out jury trial, or bench trial, or conference, or attorney, and do you have any motions? Okay. Let's jump in. Okay, and the public defender's office sent me a message this morning saying they don't have any cases. So,
Yeah, all theirs were tomorrow.
yes. So just thought I'd say that out loud, but that's why they're tabled. Okay. Kayla Alford,
Conference.
conference. Thank you, Ms. Alford. All right, Kaiser Andrews. Andrews? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted. Nicholas Barkley,
Conference.
conference. Thank you, Mr. Barkley. All right, I think Mr. Dutton has a conflict, is upstairs. Is Willie Barkley present?
Right here.
Okay, just sit tight, your attorney's upstairs. I'm gonna put it good down for a conference, I assume that's what it lasts. Keisha Barlow,
Conference.
all right, thank you. All right, Evan Bernier. I think Mr. Hutchinson has a conflict.
He's upstairs. He sent me a message. I believe he's upstairs with Mr. Dutton. He also sent me a message. So they'll be down here as quick as I can.
All right, I'm just gonna put both of them down for conferences.
Yes.
Evan Bernier, you here? Okay, and I'm gonna put.
I talked to him about that one. He had two of them. I think. There was that one and Lackey.
Okay,
I think they're both worked out. So we just announced conference on that.
okay. That's fine, like I said, I appreciate y'all doing that. Nazir Berry,
Conference.
good morning. Yes, thank you, conference it is. Levon Phoenix,
Conference.
thank you. And how do you say your name?
Labon.
Levon, all right, names are important, I'll get them right next time. And then how do you say your last name?
Biggs.
Phoenix, okay. All right, that's page one. Page two, Brandon Britton.
Oliver.
No.
Oh. There's a one on page 5 with the same attorney,
Okay,
and I wrote conflict next to it.
okay,
So they must be reading. I just don't remember what it was.
that's all right. Brandon Britton though? I'm gonna recall that tomorrow, so I'm just gonna mark it as 5/24. I'll give them to the end of the next calendar to let us know what's going on. Does that work?
Yes, I may be able to take it. Okay, that's right, right. So Mr. Oliver's got a conflict because he's gonna be out of the country from May 22nd to the 1st. And I told him it was a multi-week calendar,
Okay,
and we're gonna recall it on the 12th.
that'd be great. All right, so then I'm gonna put it, I'll leave negotiations open. And I see where Ms. Jordan notified them. So everybody's been noticed, so we're good to go. So, all right, hopefully he'll reach out to you before then. All right, Aheen Butler.
Conference.
All right, thank you. And just to say it out loud, I've marked on Brandon Britton's conflict, and then I marked 6/12 recall and conference. And then Mr. Butler's a conference. All right, Keisha Carter, paid and closed. Victoria Crickmar, paid and closed. All right, Jasmine Daly's mom is here, I think. That's you, ma'am?
Yes.
And you said she is sick?
Yes.
How is she sick?
She have medical issues, which I'm gonna bring downstairs. So
Okay,
that's all the things that she has going on.
so is she currently in the hospital now?
No, she's not in the hospital.
I believe this is third or fourth.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me look
This
up.
has been
let me look
going on
up
for a
our
while.
system.
So 22 SR 0827's got an incident date of July of 2020. And then the ticket, there's a note on the ticket that says to be sentenced on 5/23/20.
Yeah,
And there's 1, 2. That's a wreck case.
okay. Do you have anything that you can provide us from a doctor or anywhere else that says that it's appropriate for her not to be here?
I
And I'm
have,
sorry that I'm leaning on you. I just want you to know, I get it that you're just trying to look out for your kid, and I just want to acknowledge that. But you know, this is not her first rodeo with us, and I'm just looking for something I can hold on to say, yes, that's the right call. So, I mean, she can report virtually, frankly.
We'll ask
So,
for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant on both these cases. She
yeah,
can provide the documentation or something, but this has been going on for years now.
yeah. Is she well enough to be able to report virtually?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna issue the warrants, but I'm gonna hold off on signing them. And she needs to report to court, the moment she's well enough to report. And it must be the week of June. She needs to walk in the week of June 5th. Okay? And that way we can all know what's going on. Otherwise, we're just gonna issue the warrant.
Okay. I'll bring the documentation. They told me to bring it downstairs. So
Okay,
I'll bring documentation downstairs with a letter. I'll write a letter with some
okay.
other things that's going on with.
And I'm just gonna do a date certain. I want her to walk into this courtroom on Thursday, June 8th. Thursday, June 8th. She needs to walk into this courtroom and see me,
Okay.
okay?
At what time?
At 9 a.m.
Okay. All right.
The warrant stands though. I'm just trying to get some sort of plan where maybe she can get this thing resolved without having to go to jail. So, okay, that's it. Go back and tell her that I expect to see her in the court. I did issue the warrant, but I'm holding off on signing it until Thursday, June 8th. She'll be here at 9 a.m. in this courtroom, and then we'll talk to her.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you. Now he dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. And like I said, you did a good job. You kept me from signing the warrant today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Joshua Davis. Joshua Davis?
Looking to see if I have any communications with Partridge. Do you know anything about it?
Oh, no, I've not ever heard.
Let me see if I have anything.
Yeah, we also had an email from Miss Daly that she couldn't come to court today.
Well,
Alright, so on to Mr. Davis, I don't see any communications.
I don't either. Let me just make certain that the notice was good. And then I think we're ready to decide.
It was done on February 22nd.
Do what?
was mailed on February 22nd.
Okay, so the notice was sent. Okay,
Yeah, so we sent discovery on it, so we'll ask for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
granted. So the attorney is missing and the defendant is missing.
Yes.
All right. Elijah Denham paid and closed. Jesse Dunman. Good morning. What would you like to do?
Conference.
All right, thank you. Oh, okay. Ms. Dunn, just sit tight. Your attorney. Galarza Castillo? Galarza Castillo? No?
Ask for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted. All right, Enrique Howard, Clark, I haven't seen Ms. Clark this morning.
She's on the fourth floor also.
Okay,
They have a monstrous
I've heard.
criminal calendar this morning. I spoke with Ms. Clark yesterday about this case. We're gonna announce ready. There may be there was a motion, to suppress that was already ruled on in Superior Court where this case was transferred down.
Really?
And it's now pending before you, so we'll have to argue some on that. But Ms. Clark is aware of it.
Okay, well,
But for now, we're just gonna put it's on for trial, and we may need a few minutes of your time later this week.
yeah, that sounds great. All right, and then,
But Ms. Clark said that Mr. Howard was gonna be here this morning.
yeah, Enrique Howard. He doesn't,
Yeah, he was supposed to have been here.
yeah,
We'll ask for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant on that.
all right, he's granted. We'll sort that out once we get in touch with Mr. Howard and Ms. Clark. All right, let's see, I'm gonna unmute Gail Jackson. That's my only virtual person today. Ms. Jackson, if you'll please approve that request to unmute yourself. Good job. You there?
Yes, good morning, Judge Thacker. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine, thank you. May I please have a phone number in case the court needs to reach out to you?
Yes, it's 954-330-2782.
All right, you gave me 954-330-2782.
That's correct.
All right, and what would you like to do with your case?
Conference, please.
All right, Ms. Jackson, I'm gonna have you remove yourself from the video conference system, but you're not released from court. You're to stay put, wait for your phone to ring. The solicitor's office will call you in just a little bit, probably about an hour or so, have a conference with you, and then give you further directions.
Okay, would it be from a Georgia number?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You can remove yourself from the system and then just wait for your phone to ring.
Okay.
Okay. Jeremy Jester? Jester? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted.
And that's Mr. Jester's second bench warrant in this case.
Okay, well. See him on. All right, Kenneth Lackey? That's, your attorney's upstairs, just sit tight. I'm gonna put that out for a conference. Virgil Lewis? Lewis? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. I'll set a cash bond.
This one has a bench warrant listed, but then right under it says late, so I'm assuming this will be.
Looks like that's the second bench warrant on that Lewis case, Judge.
Yeah, we'll definitely count the FTAs if there's one in there, so
Okay.
that's, an FTA is just a bench warrant light, so. All right, Cindy McFarland? McFarland?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. All right, Bobby McGee? McGee? No?
Just here, I thought. That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. All right, Keisha Miller, paid and closed. Christopher Reed? Reed?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. I'll set a cash bond on that. All right, Ms. McCoy. Gene Reynolds.
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready for bench trial. There is the opportunity for my client to enter into accountability court. We will not know until, I believe he said June 1st was her intake.
So Judge, when you were going through the rights earlier and I stepped out, I was taking a call from Ms. Heffron.
Yes.
That's correct. She's got her intake evaluation, looking to lead her into accountability court on June the 8th.
That'd be
So we're
great.
just gonna leave this on the calendar for now, let her complete her intake and then she can plead.
All right, and you understand the plea is kind of a half a plea where we get to the sentence, we all know what it is, but I don't issue it. And then we attach it to the contract.
Yes.
Perfect. Is that, you go?
There's
Which
two
one's-
cases.
There's two cases.
There's two cases.
So she's going to be pleading and sentencing, she's going to plead and be sentenced on one of them. And
Okay.
the other one will be the one that's suspended, pending completion of the accountability court.
All right, we'll do all that on 6/8.
Or possibly sooner, as soon as we know that, everything's taken care of.
Okay, that's great. All right. Mr. Ford, is that your only case?
That is my only case.
Anything else from us?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well then, we'll see you and your client back here on 6/8.
All right, thank you so much.
Mark, St. Ledger?
That's Mr. Oliver's case,
All right.
the one that's got the conflict, he's out of the country.
Okay. And I put 6/12 on the other one.
Just get with me, we'll work it out, yeah.
All right. John Sexton? No? Okay. State of motion?
Well, that's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
And we'll sort that when he gets here. Isaac Shepherd?
Good case. Well, that's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant
Granted.
in both cases.
Granted. Wyman Sherman? Byron? Morgan?
He paid.
Did he pay? You check.
I talked to Byron a couple times on this, I thought I'd amended the ticket.
You did.
All right,
It's
well,
paid, isn't it?
why don't we do this? Why don't I just recall it tomorrow? That'll give you all a chance to look at it, see if the ticket was amended. Does that work?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm gonna mark, and I'm recalling this one on 5/24. Okay. All right, that's page 5, page 6, Dontrell Smith? Smith? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. Samithia Smith? Conference, thank you. And how do you say your first name? Samithia, okay, got it correct. Names are important. All right, Christy Stormer?
That was amended to be paid. I just did that yesterday, so she made a,
Okay, I'll just recall this one tomorrow.
yes, we can just call that one, just plan to recall that one on the 12th.
Okay,
But I spoke with Ms. Beret, she had a couple of cases and both of them gonna be resolved the same way.
that'll work. Okay, 6/12 it is. All right, Tisby paid, closed. Williams, Darren Williams? Conference, thank you. All right, and then Shakura Williams, Ms. Scott. See Ms. Scott today.
That one should be, is that marked? She may be coming in tomorrow, Judge. I think cause she has
They
a
made an
couple.
online payment.
Okay, it's closed. Okay. Williams is paid and closed.
So I know we talked to her about that one. And there's one tomorrow, I think it's got, that may be the one she's coming in on, is that, no,
Yeah, she's got Cochran on tomorrow's calendar. Again, most of these bench warrants are gonna end up being bookmarks, but that way they're at least marked. Okay, couple of announcements to kind of sweep everybody else up. Is there anybody here who's a subpoenaed witness for the state? Anybody here's a witness who's subpoenaed to be here today? Okay, no response on that. Anyone here whose name was not called, stand up for me. There's always a couple, it's okay. This is what we do. We're just gonna work our way across. What's your name, sir?
Thomas Overby.
All right, what are you charged with?
Went to ticket.
All right. I'll be on tomorrow's calendar. No? What's your last name again?
Overby. I came in yesterday to reschedule the court date and I was told to just show up this morning.
Okay. Spell your last name for me.
Overbey.
It's 22 TK 4930.
Thank you. 22 TK 4930. Okay. There it is. It's a window tint violation. What do you want to do with it? You want to have a conference or what do you want?
Bench trial.
Okay. All right, on 22 TK 4930, you've not had a previous warrant with me, so I'm lifting this warrant. I'm not gonna lift another one. I'm sure we're on the same page on that. I'm gonna put you down for a bench trial. I'm gonna have you go ahead and sign your bench trial waiver before you leave here today. Are you representing yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your choice, is to
Yes.
represent yourself?
Yes.
You understand you have the right to have an attorney?
Yes.
All right, come up here really quick and then we're gonna get you out in the hallway. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you've given to me so far and that you may give, and that you will give me in the future will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Everything you've said to me so far has been true and correct.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're waiving your right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and you want to have a bench trial with me,
Correct.
and you're waiving your right to the public defender's office,
Yes, sir.
and you wish to represent yourself.
That's correct.
You have not waived your right to hire an attorney, so if you wish to hire an attorney, you still may do so, if that is your choice. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, you may head back that way, out in the hallway. Don't leave till the bailiffs come talk to you. You're gonna sign this plea of not guilty and demand for a bench trial. That puts you in the bench trial calendar, and then you'll sign a reset notice giving you your next court date.
Thank you.
All right, if you'll head back that way, go to the hallway, sign both of those, and you'll be good to go. All right, that was overview. What's your name, ma'am?
Jasmine Smith.
What are you charged with, Ms. Smith?
I think it's 2 cases, the both the trainer and the exempt provider.
It's tomorrow.
Okay. You wanna talk to her?
Sure.
Oh, you can't, she's Miss
No,
Scott.
there's 2 Jasmine Smiths.
Oh.
There's Jasmine Cantrell Smith that Ms. Scott represents.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's Jasmine Cole Smith. Is that correct now?
That's correct.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with your case?
Bench trial.
Okay, sit tight, we'll talk. All right, what's your name in the back?
Jasmine Shepherd.
Shepherd. What are you charged with?
Driving with a suspended license.
I don't see her name.
I don't either. Did you miss a previous court date, maybe?
Yes, sir. I came up here yesterday and she told me to just come in today at 9.
That's exactly correct. Okay, what's your middle name?
I got 2, Angelica Shakri.
All right, I found it. Do you have a felony pending upstairs?
No.
Is your birthday in 92?
I can't hear you.
Is your birthday 12/28/92?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I found a Jasmine Shepherd, but that Jasmine Shepherd with that birthday, there's a felony pending upstairs. And you're saying you
I'm
don't have
not
one?
supposed to go. They haven't gave me a court date. It just happened, like 3 weeks ago. My son
Yeah.
went out the,
That's right, that's right. I just needed to know if that was you.
oh,
And
I
that was
don't,
what,
they haven't sent me a court date yet.
okay, but you do have a case in Superior Court where you were arrested for a felony. That's what I'm hearing you
I
say.
think, yeah, I think so.
That's fine, if you, I wanna make sure that's you. Her case is 21 TK 3268. I'm gonna have you,
What?
oh, okay. Why'd you keep missing court?
Okay, the first time I was living in, Tennessee in 2001, so I didn't get the mail. It was sent to my old address. And then the second one, my apartment flooded. I have pictures of everything. And it, like, I lost my home, so I didn't,
Okay,
and a lot of stuff started happening with my kids, so.
okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at this. So don't panic. I'm about to have you be put in the jury box. They're gonna put handcuffs on you because that's procedure. But I'm gonna take a look at your file and I'm also give you a chance to talk. You okay with me having her? Okay. I'm also gonna give you a chance to talk to the solicitor's office. So don't panic, but just follow the procedure and that way I've got your case moving, so you can hear it today.
This is a suspended license, is that all it is?
So, but she just keeps missing court and she's got a felony upstairs. So
Jazz.
she's in the system as Jasmine A. Shepherd, 21 TK 3268. This is the second warrant on this case. Obviously, plus the felony upstairs. Okay. So if y'all don't mind pulling that ticket, thank you. Okay. What's your name, sir?
Joe Pope.
A little louder and slower.
Joe Pope.
Hope.
Yes, sir.
All right. What are you charged with?
Speeding ticket. This is my, court date.
It's 22 TK 3119. Somebody printed or brought it up already.
22 TK 3119.
Yes, sir.
Speed.
All right, come on up. Let's talk this through. What do you want to do with your case?
Are you talking about like a conference or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I do conference.
Okay. Goodness, you missed a lot of court.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many? Looks like you've missed.
I will.
1, 2 or 3.
I thought it was 2.
Might be 2. That's why you heard me say 3 with a question mark. It's definitely 2. So, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with you that I just did with her case. Don't panic. They're gonna put handcuffs on you, they're gonna put you in the box. I'll go have your conference today. And, you'll hear that again, Mr. Shepherd. All right, it's 22 TK 3119, but I think I heard Ms. Milton say she has the ticket. All right, well, they'll talk to you. I thought that one was gonna be something different, but there are too many warrants on that one. All right, anybody else? Okay, that was a mixed bag. A couple folks went this way, a couple folks went that way. Okay, anybody else? All right, then Mr. Shepherd, floor's yours.
All right, thank you, Judge. All right, good morning, y'all. I'm Patrick Shepard. I'm the solicitor. He's on the prosecutor. There's a couple of you who are represented
And ladies and gentlemen, what I'm gonna do at this time is talk to the bailiffs. They're very good at what they do. They'll be able to help you. I'm gonna put us in recess until 10:45. Now, those of you waiting, we're all human. Feel free to step to the restroom, but don't disappear. And those of you with questions, talk to the bailiffs. They're excellent at what they do, and they can help you. All right. With that said, I'll be back on the bench at 10:45. If you need anything, talk to the bailiffs. So I will lift your warrant. That's the one and only lift you're gonna get out of me. You're charged with speeding, 51 and 25. You want a conference on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, go sit in the gallery. You can certainly step to the restroom, but otherwise don't leave until the solicitor's office has a conference with you. You'll go last since you're late, but they'll get to you this morning. Okay. Alford? Okay. Ms. Alford, have you had a chance to fill out,
Yes, probation dog.
oh, that's all right, so I'm gonna just take the plea and then have her fill it out before she goes out. So, and, actually, I can do Kenneth Lackey.
Yeah, he's sitting right
Are you, Mr. Lackey, are you entering a plea?
Yes, sir.
Who's your attorney? Brent's still upstairs or is he?
He told me to get ready, I'll message him and let him know.
Okay,
He's already conference, wasn't in everything, he's just on paper.
okay, that sounds good. All right, Ms. Alford, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do your plea, and then I'm gonna have you fill out a form before you go out of court, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Take your hand down, say your full name for me.
Kayla Nicole Offer.
Ms. Alford, you're here on 22 TK 5607, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
I know, sir.
Ms. Alford, you passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
I do, yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, they are.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign the initial of this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Ms. Alford, you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Alford, you're charged with one count of seatbelt, child restraint violation from December 11th, 2022 here in Spalding County. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Did you also fail to properly maintain your lane of vehicle here in Spalding County and causing an accident during the same course of events on December 11th of 2022?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your, oh, I am so sorry. The second one was a no-load. Let me pivot. I asked you the wrong question. On the second one, have you used a no-low on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking to use a no-low on this charge, which is count 2, failure to maintain lane with an accident? Is that what you want to use your no-low on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to count 1, the child seatbelt violation, that there's enough for me to take the plea. I'm going to find that your request for a no-low on count 2, the failure to maintain lane with an accident, is granted. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving rights. I review the recommendation. I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Child safety belt violation, which is count 1, I'm gonna find you guilty. There's no probation, it is just simply a fine of $50.
Yes, sir.
Count 2, failure to maintain lane with an accident, I'm granting your no-low. It's 12 months probation, $300 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months probation. All right, so here's how you can close this. If you pay off the fine in full, which is $300 plus $50, so $350, plus a $20 program fee, I'll let you participate in our 15 by 20 program as long as you get it paid off in full within the next 15 days.
Yes, sir.
If you do not pay it in full within the next 15 days, the following probation conditions will apply and your probation will begin. At that point, you will need to obtain your valid driver's license. You shall not consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver for searches by law enforcement and probation, and a $50 per month supervision fee. You will be allowed to work off your fine at that time with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that your case will close the moment you have satisfied your obligations to the court?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me about anything?
My only question is if I would still need to come in on June 12th.
No, this reduces you from appearing on June 12th. That's a really good question. Any other questions?
That was all.
All right, then I'm going to say that you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. We do have one more document for you to fill out. I'm gonna have you just grab a seat wherever Mr. Richards points you to. Fill that form out. Once you fill that out, we'll remove the probation.
Thank you.
You'll let you know. Whenever I muted myself when I sat down. Okay, then the short answer is that's the sentence of the court. I've signed it. The bailiffs are going to walk him down to the first floor. Once you have your receipt in hand, you're free to go. If something goes wrong and you're unable to make your payment, then just come back to the courtroom. We'll figure out a plan B. I don't anticipate that. I just wanted to say that out loud.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, sir.
What else do you have?
Judge, also
You'll come to your podium. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand. You can grab that mic, pull it down, pull the whole thing down. There you go. Perfect. Great job. All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Ian Butler.
Mr. Butler, you are here today on 23 TK 0682 because, and it looks to me like you were on time for court, is that correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, and did you hear the rights that are read out when I first sat down and see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Butler, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you skipped that line, so I'm just going to
I'm
initial
sorry
it.
about it.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to initial it with mine because we put it on the record.
Thank
Okay. So I'm holding up this right sheet. You recognize, are
Yes,
these
sir.
your initials next to each of the lines on
Yes,
page
sir.
1?
Yes, sir.
And then page 2, other than mine?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is
Right.
that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Butler, have you used a NOLO?
I think I came here, like, I don't remember, was it 2019 or 18?
Okay, let me see if I can look it up because that may, if you've used a NOLO on a suspended license.
Oh, not on the suspended.
Oh, well then we're good.
Okay.
So then, and you're 21 years of age or older,
Yes, sir.
and you're wanting me to let you use a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on February 10th of 2023 and resulted in this driving on a suspended license charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that'll work. Let me review the recommendation. Okay, we have a minor hiccup. So there's only 2 traffic charges of the standard traffic charges that require probation.
Right.
The ones where you don't get arrested generally. And that's the suspended license and driving without a license.
Yes, sir.
Without a valid license. This one, they mistakenly checked the box that said 15 by 20. I can't offer that to you because Georgia law requires at least a day of probation on this, but I can leave it to terminate upon completion.
Okay. Oh, so you can do it. You say you can't do the 15.
Can't do the 15 by 20.
But payment still the same.
It would be $735 plus $50 to close your case.
All right.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir. But just say for instance, I paid it next week.
It'd still be,
Okay.
it's as long as you get it closed in the next 29 days,
I got you.
it'd just be the $735 plus $50.
Yes, sir.
Are you good with that? Okay. You ready for me to send this?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for no is proper and you're granted. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving the rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, I'll follow it. The sentence of the court is as follows. On 23 TK 682, count 1, suspended license, no load, 12 months, $735 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish,
Yes, sir.
at a rate of $10 per hour. There will be a $50 per month supervision fee. You are to show your valid license to probation. Do you have your license reinstated? Great job. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. Probation does have the right to ask you to be tested for those. And the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court, your case will close.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your, I'm so sorry, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me about anything before?
No, sir.
Okay, then I'm gonna pass off Ms. Yarborough. She's gonna walk you up those double doors back there and have you go. Oh, hold on, check. That's me. Thank you. All right, Butler, the next case I have up here is a Nalpros on Dunman. All right, so please step up to the podium there, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Sam Smith. 72 Smith.
All right, lean into that mic for me there. You're a little soft spoken, and that way I can hear you a little bit better. And you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the walls?
Yes.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not getting any louder. Lean into that mic for me there. You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
All right, that's better. And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver?
No.
Ms. Smith, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Smith, you are charged in this case with count 1, passing in a no passing zone with an accident. And that you did so here in Spalding County on August 27th, 2022, and passed in a manner that caused an accident. Did you do that?
Yes.
And then count 2 is a child seatbelt violation. Did you here in Spalding County operate your motor vehicle while having a minor in the car without properly having them restrained in a approved child restraint system for a vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with your admission of guilt on counts 1 and count 4. I think that's right. Yeah, count 4. There's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it. Any questions about anything before sentence?
I got a question. See, with the child restraint, I thought long as their feet touches the ground, long as they're 8, they will be okay.
Let's
That's
pull,
what I was.
that's a reasonable question. Let's look that up.
Because I go to school for parent people, so it's like,
All right, so how old was your child?
he was 8.
And you should know that I'm frankly doing this just because I'm curious.
Mhm.
The solicitor's office makes the recommendation.
Yes, because I asked him too.
Yeah, and so I'm simply acknowledging that as far as today goes, that, I'm curious about your question, and so I'm happy to check it, but there's no scenario where I dismiss this charge.
I was just wondering.
Because that's not the role that I play at this moment. Okay, so I'm looking that up now. All right, how old's the child?
He's 8 right now.
How old was the child on August 27th of 2022?
2022, he was going on 8.
Okay, so 7.
Yeah.
All right, how much did the child weigh?
I don't know how much he weighed, but I know he's tall, like
How about more or less than 40 pounds?
more than 45.
I'd say a lot of that, those family.
Mhm.
Cause he's like at my chest.
Okay. The short answer is, it's a really close question. And it's a reasonable question. I tell you what I can do. I can either send you back to talk to the solicitor's office to see if they're willing to dismiss it. On my position, because that's a really close call, I'm willing to zero out the fine. Because I think that was a reasonable question that you've asked of me. What I'm doing right now is confirming that this will not be submitted, that the child seatbelt charge will not appear on your driver's history. I'm checking that right now. Actually, it does go on your driver's history. Do you want to go back and talk to them again, or you want to wait and let Mr. Shepherd come in and I'll talk to him?
You can talk to him.
Okay, just grab a seat and I'll talk to him. Okay, let me ask you very specific questions.
Mm-hmm.
Was he, your son, was it your son? So your son was 7 at the time, but he weighed more than 40 pounds, correct? So let's do yeses and nos.
Yes.
It's all right, you were nodding your head vigorously, so for the record. But was he in any seatbelt at all?
Yes, he was in the back seat with the one that go across like that.
And he was in the back seat, he had a lap and shoulder belt on? Okay, then that's what I needed. You can grab a seat. That tells me the conversation I need to have with Mr. Shepherd. All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
There, Taylor Von Wood.
All right. Mr. Williams, we're going to start this plea today, but it's my understanding that you are under 21 years of age
Yes, sir.
and that you turn 21 in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's on Sunday, June 11th?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do half a plea. And then I'm going to bring you back on June 12th, the day after you turn 21, to finish the plea. And by doing that, your license will not be suspended, or at least that's the intention of the solicitor's office that I'm trying to honor. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and is that acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Williams, according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights? You are here on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. You've passed up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yeah.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document? Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you are here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Williams, you are here. The way this is going to work next is I'm about to go through the facts of your case, at which point, before I sentence, I'm going to pause, and then we're going to reset to June 12th. Do you understand what's about to happen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, Ms. Williams, I'm going to ask you, did you here in Spalding County, as to count 1, which is speeding, 95 and a 65, did you operate your motor vehicle at that speed here in Spalding County on December 23rd of 2022?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then count 2, did you operate your motor vehicle during the same course of events without properly being restrained with a seatbelt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I'm going to find that you, with your admission, I'm so sorry. The speeding was supposed to be a no-low. Have you used a no-low in the last 5 years on any moving violation?
No, sir.
And you're asking to use a no-low on this speeding case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna find that your request for a no-low on count 1 is proper, and your guilty plea on count 2, the seatbelt violation, is also proper. I have reviewed the recommendation that you've negotiated with the solicitor's office, and I will be following it. At this point, do you understand that I'm about to recess this plea and order you to return at 9 a.m. sharp on Monday, June 12th, to finish your plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that between now and then, you are waiving the right to withdraw your plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that traditionally, unfinished pleas have the absolute right to be withdrawn until they're finalized?
Yes, sir.
And is that acceptable to you that that's what we're about to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark down that you will be returning on June 12th, 2023. I'm going to take all of the paperwork involved in this. I'm clipping it all together. I'm frankly going to pass it back to the solicitor's office. Or I guess, where do we want to put this? Do you want it back or? Okay, then I'm going to pass it to the clerk, for Ms. Erica to hold. And then on June 12th, when you come in, you'll simply come up, I'll place you under oath. I'll just issue the sentence by reading down there, and then we'll be done. So the next part will be very, very short, and we'll get it done very quickly. You've already filled out all the rest of the paperwork. Do you have any other questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right. All right, well then, that's it. I'll see you here on June 12th. Do not be late. Do not be late. That's the one day that I have absolutely no tolerance for lateness on. I'm just being careful, and it's my job to say awkward things like that out loud, okay? Anything else? All right, see you June 12th. All right. McGee? All right, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, say your full name for me.
I believe McGee Jr.
All right, Mr. McGee, you're here on 22 TK 4600, and you relate to court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, am I correct that you wish to close your case with a plea?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver that I'm holding up. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
You're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And you saw that on the right sheet here.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And you saw the rights that are within the jury trial that are on the sheet here.
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up that right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me about anything on the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right, did you, here in Spalding County, back on October 14th of 2022, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 49 miles an hour in a what did he say the zone was?
35. It's a 35.
Okay, we don't normally see them change the lower number very often, so that's the pause. The big pause you heard from me is that when they want to move them, they generally bring the top number down. I very rarely see them pull the bottom number up. So I'm correct in reading that this is 49 and a 35.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I'm gonna put a little note after it that this is 14 over. And that way it'll be very clear that it's 14 over.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I'm fine with your admission of guilt, that there's enough for me to find your, enough for me to accept your plea of 14 over. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights, entering the plea. Review the recommendation, I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence? You ready? Here we go. Bobby McGee Jr., on 22 TK 4600 from October 14th of 2022, speeding 49 and a 35, 14 over. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation if that's needed and a $155 fine. Now, you have your first pathway to close your case is with the 15 by 20 program, where if in the next 15 days, you pay $155 plus $20 to be in the program, so $175 will close your case in the next 15 days. If you're unable or unwilling to do that, then you'll pivot over to probation, and your probation will begin 15 days from now. You'll need to show your valid license to probation. You'll be tested for drugs, alcohol, and hemp products. You do not have any of those. Fourth Amendment waiver and $50 per month supervision fee. If that is the case, your case will still terminate upon completion. that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights.
I got one question. So do I give the $175 to the court or to probation?
To probation, and you're about to walk back and meet with them, and they'll give you those instructions. So, all right, any other questions?
Okay.
All right, then, thank you very much. If you walk out those double doors. All right, that's the last item I have that is ready. What do you have?
General, we just wanted to go through. This one's a little weird.
Let's go.
Yes.
Wait, with the city? Wait a minute, I have a case from the city?
I need your right hand. I need your right hand.
I feel like I keep getting this. Okay, wait a minute. Let's just do it. Let me just. I said, because I was just over here still to a date certain. Yeah.
It's not like.
Let's get on. Oh, it's
He's by himself today, so it's just gonna be a little while. This was pretty close.
But I don't do this fast.
all right, let me do. All right, everybody, let's come back to order. Ms. Smith, we're gonna come back on record with your case. Mr. Shepherd reviewed your, case. I told him what you had told me on the record,
Yes.
and he agreed to dismiss that charge.
Okay.
All right, so, I'm gonna find that with your admission of guilt on the remaining charge of passing and no passing zone, that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything else before I sentence?
No.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Smith, on 22 TK 3600, on count one, passing or no passing zone with an accident, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 445 is your fine. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will be dismissed, which includes the child no seatbelt, which was count 4. You may work off your fines with community service work. There'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. And the moment you have satisfied your obligations to the court, your case will close. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes.
You remember reading about it on the right sheet?
Yes.
Anything I can do, any questions I can answer for you before you and I part ways?
No.
All right, that was a good question. That also saved 1 point on your driver's history, and I would waive the fine, but that at least saves a point on your driver's history.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. You'll head out those double doors. All right, next one, Kathy, is going to be a virtual plate. Oh, I have a new person in the virtual, Andrews. Kaiser Andrews.
Yeah, he's, second on page 1.
Okay.
Failure to maintain lane, violation of child restraint law.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jackson, are you there? All right. Ms. Jackson, I have pushed up onto your screen, the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Can you see that document?
Yes, I can.
You can see it? Mr. Andrews, I can see you there. If you will please, if you can see that document on your screen, give me a thumbs up. Mr. Andrews? How about give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? No? Okay. Ms. Jackson, I'm gonna release the holds so that Mr. Andrews can unmute himself. I need both of y'all to look over that document before I take the plea. Sorry. All right, Mr. Andrews, you can unmute yourself now. I sent you an unmute request.
Okay,
There we go. Mr. Andrews, can you see the document that's on your screen?
I do.
All right. Mr. Andrews, what's a good phone number for us to reach you?
404 536 4797.
All right. 404-536-4797. All right, Mr. Andrews, you're going to take a moment. I'm going to let you read that document with Ms. Jackson. I'm going to put the court into, actually, I'm going to take another plea, which will work out well because I want both of you all to listen to the plea conversation while you're looking at that document. Shepherd? May have gotten here ahead of him. And what we'll do is, that way y'all can both hear it and see it, and then I'll take Ms. Jackson's plea, and then Mr. Andrews. Are you wanting to have a trial, Mr. Andrews, or are you wanting to work your case out? What do you want to do?
I worked the case out.
Okay. Was it, maintain lane, was there an accident or no accident in your case?
No accident.
Okay, then I'll come back and talk to you about what your options are, okay? All I need y'all to do right now is just read that document while I take this other plea.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna mute both of you, but you can unmute yourself when, if you need to address me. All right, then I have Jasmine Shepherd.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Shepherd, you can come on around.
Yeah, please, no.
Oh, then she can
Just
have
have
a
a
seat.
seat right here.
Okay.
We got,
Hello?
All right, so you're Ms. Shepherd, correct?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Shepherd, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Jasmine Angelica Shakri Shepherd.
All right, Ms. Shepherd, you're here on 21 TK 3268. On this case, you're not on this trial calendar, but you walked in, if I'm correct on that.
Yes, sir.
And you had, I did take you into custody because you had multiple warrants, but we gave you a conference, and it seems to me like you want to resolve your case with a plea. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Shepherd, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Ms. Shepherd, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll initial that line there for me.
Hey, Mr. Butler,
Is this, you didn't initial the U.S. citizenship.
Yeah, right.
All right, are these your initials here on the back now?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Shepherd, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Shepherd, you're wanting to enter a no-lid plea on the suspended license charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you entered a no-lid plea on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you wanting to do so today for this case that occurred here in Spalding County on August 26th of 2021 and resulted in this charge of suspended license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a no-lid is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I'll review the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Shepherd, I need to make one small change to your sentence recommendation, which is that suspended license does require a little bit of probation, like basically enough to get you from here to there. So I can't offer the 15 by 20 program, but I can offer you immediate termination. And so it's a slight difference, but it also adds $30 because it's going to be a $50 supervision fee instead of the 20. Does that make sense?
I think, yes, sir.
Okay. That 15 by 20 is for payable tickets, and the suspended license is not a payable ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Any questions other than that before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. Jasmine Shepherd on 21 TK 3268, count 1, suspended license. I'm granting you NOLO. It's 12 months of probation. $735 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. There'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. Show your valid license to probation. Do you have your license reinstated?
Yes, I do.
Great job. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you may be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver. And your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today, you have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. All right, Jasmine Shepherd, on 21 TK 3268, that closes out everything I need. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am, before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. If you'll step out those double doors, Mr. Richards, and walk you back to probation. Oh. All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Joe Henry Pope III.
And Mr. Pope, you're here today on 22 TK 3119, and you are Joe Henry Pope. And you were on time this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you had missed previous court dates and I'd issued a warrant, and therefore I had you taken into custody. But you had a conference and it looks like you've reached an agreement to resolve your case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, as you were on time for court this morning, did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Pope, did you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pope, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking me to accept a no-load plea for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on July 23rd of 2022 and results in this charge of speeding, 63 and a 55?
Yes.
Okay, have you used a no-load in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
All right. I'm gonna find that your request for a no-load is proper and I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering your plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, on 22 TK 3119, count 1 speeding 63 into 35, I'm granting your no-load. It's 12 months probation, a fine of $735. Now, if you pay your fine off of $735 plus $20 within the next 15 days, your case will close without probation conditions because you're participating in our 15 by 20 program. However, if you do not close your case within the next 15 days, then your probation will begin, and you will be required to show your valid license to probation. You will have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you will be tested for those. You'll be Fourth Amendment waiver for searches by law enforcement and probation, and your case will close upon completion. And of course, you can work off the fine with community service work. Any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas this morning? It's that weird old law where you sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. And I just need you to know that you have 6 months to use your habeas rights before they expire.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna pass you off to Ms. Taylor. Just walk you back those double doors and have you go meet with probation.
You got good.
Thank you, too. Smith. And then I'll do the 2 virtuals, then we're done. All right. You are Jasmine Smith.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Smith, you are on tomorrow's calendar. You were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're pleading to 1 and dismissing 1, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The family violence case, Judge, the victim on that is deceased.
Oh, okay.
We can confirm that.
I'm sorry for whoever that was in your family.
Thank you.
So, okay. All right, Ms. Smith, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Did you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
as well as page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna pass this down to get you to sign initial the rest of those. It's clear that you just kind of went through it as a group, but I have to have you sign it initially, individually. All right, do you understand you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Smith, you are charged with 1 count of possession of a drug-related object, and then you did hear in Spalding County back on May 4th of 2020, unlawfully possess a grinder, which is a drug-related object. in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I'll review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, the sentence of the court then as follows. Jasmine Smith on 22 SR 0491. Possession of a drug-related object. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 415 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. There'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. Show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Your case, count 2 is dismissed, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today. If you wish to appeal this decision, you have 12 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. All right, any other questions, ma'am, before you go?
No, sir.
All right, then, I've already signed the non-promise on the other case. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's do our 2 virtual people. Ms. Jackson, I'm gonna send you an unmute request. If you'll approve that, please. All right, you there, Ms. Jackson? All right, Ms. Jackson, have you had all the time you need to review the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver on the screen?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna swear you in. You ready? Ms. Jackson, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Jackson, you're here on 23 TK 0575, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court this morning virtually. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ms. Jackson, were you able to see the rights that I put up on the screen with the PowerPoint and hear the rights that I reviewed out loud?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Jackson, are there any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Ms. Jackson, I'm holding in my hand the paper copy of the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Have you had all the time that you need to review the document fully, page 1 and page 2?
Yes.
If you were here in the courtroom, would you be able to initial each of the lines that you see on both pages of the documents to indicate to me that you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on that document?
No.
Let's go off record real quick. All right, back on record with Ms. Jackson. Ms. Jackson, are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what I've done, Ms. Jackson, is I've initialed each of the lines indicating that I've reviewed it with you and that you do not have any questions on any of it. Do you need anything else from me regarding the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No.
And do you recognize the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver as the written version of those rights that I read out earlier?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Jackson, have you used a no-low plea on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And are you asking me to accept your no-low for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on January 26th of 2023 and resulted in this charge of driving on a suspended license?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to find that that your request for a no-low is proper. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
Just the instructions on how to make the payment.
Yes, and I will give you that here in just a second. That's a good question though. All right, anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Count one, suspended license. I'm granting your no-lo. It's 12 months of probation, $445 is your fine. Originally, we were thinking we could put you in the 15 by 20 program, but your case is a charge that requires a little bit of probation. So I'm going to make it terminate upon completion, but I can't offer to put you in the 15 by 20 program. Do you understand that I needed to change that a little bit?
I'm actually trying to make the payment today to close my case.
Well, you couldn't do it today either way. You need to, because you're virtual, they need a day or so to get it all set up. What I was gonna do was have you report by phone, on Monday. No, today's Tuesday, so I was gonna have you report, I was gonna have you report by phone next Monday. That would be the
You guys are
29th.
open on Memorial Day?
Oh, good catch. You are observant. I missed that. Then it'll be Tuesday the 30th. So it'd be Tuesday the 30th, at 11 a.m. And when you report then, they'll be able to close your case for you, assuming you have everything you need.
Okay, this is at 11 a.m. Okay, that works.
Okay, perfect. And so that's the conditions of the court. So report by phone. Where, do you live outside of this area?
I live in
Where do you
Florida.
Yeah, so you're gonna report by phone. You also can call them and get a good email so that y'all can swap some emails and get everything set up. You can call 678-688-2888.
I'm just gonna repeat it back to you. It's 678-688-2888.
That's correct.
And this would be the number that I call Tuesday the 30th at 11 a.m.
That's exactly correct. And I'm saying go ahead and call it probably tomorrow, and they'll be able to start answering basic questions about what you need to do to get your case closed.
Okay.
All right, do you have any other questions for me?
No, that'll be all.
Okay. All right, well then, that's the sense of the court. You may remove yourself from the system, don't forget to call, and like I said, you should go ahead and open up that line of communication early.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You may remove yourself from the system. All right, Mr. Andrews, you there? Yes.